Hi team, Miss T here. I have a presentation that I would like to present, but I know that everybody's time is precious, so I'm making this video so that you can absorb the presentation in your own time, push pause, rewind, and we can hopefully set up a time next week to discuss what I'm going to hear to talk about. So let's dive in. What if Emerson Elementary had walk to read for K through 8th grade? So this presentation is brought to you after I talked to all of these teachers. So it was definitely a collaborative effort. And this idea was not like just thrown together. So I have put a lot of time and thought into it. It's how Emerson can accomplish this. So the idea came from when I was actually in the ELA adoption committee, and I heard one of the principals talking about a school-wide like walk to read. I later found out that it was just a K through 3 walk to read, but he was saying how he carved out 30 minutes of his schedule every day to devote to pulling a walk to read group because it's really important. And I know we all agree that children's literacy isn't where we want it to be, and we need to do whatever we can to get it there. So I left that that meeting going, what if we could somehow make this work? Have ELA through K through 3. K through 8th. And what would that look like? So why do we need it? Obviously, at Emerson, there is a huge just need for literacy instruction beyond 3rd grade. Kids don't go to 4th grade and suddenly magically have their literacy needs met and they're reading on grade level, poof, right? But we don't have support in 4th grade. We don't have intervention set up for them. And 4th, 5th, even beyond, like some of them really need help with foundational skills. So that's where we come in. And I also brought up, like, even if students are advanced, they're not meeting with ALPS every single day, right? They're not getting that push that they need to keep progressing and keep growing. And that's our goal as at Emerson, is to grow our kids. So what can we do to grow our kids, even the ones that are reading at grade level? How do we push them higher? How do they grow? Are they being challenged? So this would help students to meet that needs. This is a bold and excellent way to accomplish growing our students. So the vision, let's walk through it grade by grade. So K and first walk to read, like nothing would change. Whoa, hallelujah, right? Make it easy. But let's examine grades 2 through 5. Okay, so the thought would be that students that need to practice fundamental skills would still attend walk to read, right? They would still be sorted into those groups. So our 4th graders now, who I'm pulling during their math block to attend walk to read, would be across grade, right? I only pull 4, but I haven't looked at the data. I'm pretty sure there are more than 4 in there that need help with the foundational skills. So those kids would be getting the skills practicing that they need. And the rest of the students that have tested out of the program could then be placed in small groups, like 6 to 10 kids, and they would be given targeted instruction based off of iReady data. And I got this idea from Daniela when she was giving the presentation for after school tutoring. And what are we short with? Teachers. We desperately need teachers, both in attendance and just honestly in general across the country. But it's even harder for you to get a teacher to commit to after school than a teacher who's already getting paid. They're already here and, implementing this targeted instruction. So take the after school tutoring idea and apply it to for fourth and fifth, and even some of our third graders who need that extra push, like there's at least 4 of them who have tested out now, and we're not even halfway through the school year. So we're going to get more third graders who test out of Walk to Read, which is awesome. But what's next? What else are we offering? Let's keep pushing them. They could have those gaps in learning addressed through this small group targeted instruction. So I just want to go back to the slide, and I will email you this PowerPoint too, so you can go through it and read, like, because it's quite wordy. So that's my vision for second and through fifth. And these are the teachers that would come on board and I would train and work with. I can't remember Miss Douglas's aide. I know his first name's Jason, but I don't know him by last name. So he could even help. He could pull a group. And together, with this help of additional staff, we could really make a difference. But with great ideas come potential challenges. So let's talk about it. So the first issue that I foresee happening is schedules. I know that like fourth grade, like I was saying, has math at the same block of time as the second and third grade have Walk to Read. So that's a huge issue, right? Like they can't be missing math to participate. So my possible solution would be fourth and fifth grade have a Walk to Read that's a different time from second and third. And we could talk about that, what that would look like. But that's my possible solution. With every potential issue, I tried to provide a solution, as you can see. And the second point is space in classrooms. We're pretty crowded here at Emerson, but we're flexible with the weather cooling off. Potentially we could like have a group outside on the hill, or I don't know. I haven't talked to Steph or Mr. Lovelady, but potentially using their room for a group. Miss McFarland, I'm not sure, but we do have options. We just need to reach out and ask teachers if they're willing to, donate a part of their room for the better cause of helping our kids. So, but space is an issue. Also, the timeline. So obviously I would like to start this as soon as possible, but teachers, once they've established a routine, and with schedules and they become very rigid, people are doing different pullouts. There's a lot of hands in the pot, right? And so it's a lot easier to get something like this implemented at the beginning of the year than at the end. So I would like to get it started after winter break, but I completely understand if that isn't feasible. And we could start it like next year or something, but it is worth discussing and it is worth talking about. So let's go on. 6th through 8th grade Walk to Read. My thought with this is a lot of like similarities with the 4th and 5th graders during Walk to Read. Same concept. Those that need those fundamental skills will be pulled and serviced through the PLL bags and Walk to Read, and those who don't will be given those targeted gap filling lessons that they so desperately need. And yeah, I obviously don't know a lot about middle school instruction and scheduling and state mandated minutes. That's not my realm of expertise. I just know that there's a need and we need to fill it. Our kids need us. And what are we doing at the end of the day? It's something that's been like really weighing on my heart. When I go home, I think about it, and getting ready for work, I'm thinking about it. Like all of the students that they're slipping, and we have a small window to grab them and help them up and give them the tools to grow. And I feel like this would really be that moment for a lot of our kids. Okay, so with that being said, let's talk about the teachers. So here's the teachers that I could potentially recruit. So there's Miss Hughes, who's already helping. She could take a group. She took them last year, so she's already familiar with Walk to Read. Miss Nara and Mr. C, and I don't know the other 2 teachers' names because I haven't had the pleasure of working with them closely yet. So yay! But together we could really make a great team. And again, the potential issue. So with those teachers that I talked about, the thought would be that one of them, because at that age, like, we're hoping that not more than like one group would be focusing on walk to read fundamentals, right? So like the building blocks of learning to read, those lower babies would be with that group, and then maybe there could be a group based off of data, looking at iReady data. They need to practice informational text, whatever standard that is. There could be Mr. C working on that with his like group of 10 kids, and Miss Nair working with, so it doesn't necessarily have to be reading. Like, I do want our kids to grow in reading, but I would love to see this targeted time set aside, like, just to fill learning gaps. So maybe like we can talk about it being partially reading, partially math. Obviously, I advocate towards reading, but I also understand that there's other, like, whole picture, right? Whole picture. But if we have a time where teachers could focus on a specific gap filling need that room in specifically needs, like, that would be really cool. So the potential drawbacks would be scheduling, obviously. So middle schoolers need to meet, like I said, mandated minutes and take specific subjects and all of that fun stuff. So my solution to that problem would be to look at their homerooms and see if we could change their homerooms like every month based off of data and education needs. So students could like alternate homerooms, and we could use that homeroom time as like direct, targeted, explicit instruction. I know they have SEL time at the end of the day for 30 minutes, but I don't know what happens in between. And something that Gay and I talked about is her grandson's school recently implemented a similar thing, which was cool to talk about. Like, I brought it up and she like fed me this information. It was really nice. Apparently his school was able to cut back in transition times and like recess. They cut those times back by like 2 minutes here, 5 minutes here, 4 minutes there, and they were able to create a 30-minute block. And I'm thinking that we could potentially do that with our middle school. Again, I don't know, because I don't know their schedules like that, but I would love to talk to you more about it and see if maybe, like, like maybe they don't need playground time, or maybe, what's happening in their homeroom could be more like educational focused, because I have been in certain rooms in the early mornings, and homeroom to me just looks like a social hour. So maybe we could refine that a little bit and make sure that really, like, we're not, like you said, the 12%, Mr. Lodato, like, we're not wasting a single minute of that 12%. All right, let's continue. So as soon as possible, like I was saying, but I also understand that we want to be like very strategic and effective and move with purpose. Otherwise, like, there's no point, right? There's no point in rushing things, because we want, and also perfection is the enemy of progress. So we want to make progress. It doesn't have to be perfect. However, we want to make sure that we implement it well when we do dive in. Sorry, I'm like shaking my camera a little bit. My bad. Okay, so thoughts. So I would like to, at this point, I'd like to just pause and say thank you so much for taking the time to listen. I know this video is running a little long. We're at 14 minutes, but every minute of your time is very much appreciated, and I think this topic really needs attention, which is why I'm bringing it up. So at your earliest convenience, just send me a message of when we can meet to talk about this further, because this is a topic that I'm very passionate about, and I would love to see us just keep pushing and keep chipping away and keep making moves and moving forward. So please message me with a time, Miss Hernandez, Mr. Lodato, like, let's get together and talk about it, because I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear your feedback. And last but not least, thanks for listening. Yay!